It was just an awful old guy. And he owned a bunch of property out there, including a few radio stations. Knox LaRue.
Knox LaRue.
Yeah.
What a name.
Yeah. He's dead now. He died like 10 years ago.
All right, Knox LaRue.
But anyway, to answer your question, yeah, it was around that time I was doing a night show there, and we would get the reports, the entertainment reports, and there was a story about R. Kelly marrying Aaliyah. And the first thing I thought was, oh, isn't she
15?
15? But I was thinking, well, maybe it's one of those things where they lie about the age to, do some promotional stuff.
Oh, they lied about the age.
Yeah, did they ever? So that was the first time. So that was like 93.
Oh, was that 93? No, that was 2003.
No, man, it was 93.
No, she died in like 2001.
Oh, yeah, it was 93.
Mm-hmm.
So you knew.
Yeah,
You knew
well, that
for a
was
while.
when. But I mean, after that, everybody knew. Everybody knew R. Kelly. But in hindsight, it was pretty stupid for everybody to kind of overlook it because I mean, it kind of this whole thing kind of bore out to be, wow, this guy is a predator. But it's so easy to go, well, it was just that one time. I don't know. Maybe she was, I don't know, wise beyond her years. I don't know. But it was just that one thing, and everybody kind of blew it off. It's not like it's never happened in music before.
Well, that's what comes up in the documentary. They mention Elvis and Jerry Lee and everyone. And I was thinking it as I was watching it.
Yeah.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
And so you do go, sometimes the heart wants what it wants.
Yeah.
Isn't that the saying, Sarah? But in this case, he's got a history of being... That's why they keep using the word predator.
Yeah.
Because it's not just a one-time love affair with a person.
Let's go around the horn. We're gonna start with Bryn, then Sarah, then Vinny, then Yuzette, then Marcus. We've all watched this. We may not have watched all 6, but we've watched most of them. What was one specific thing or moment that stuck out to you that really shocked you in this documentary?
The specific thing for me was, it's terrible, the whole thing, but the escape part, and I mentioned this yesterday, wasn't really escaping. They weren't really physically detained, it seemed. It was like more like mentally. So they're like, oh, I had to gather my strength and make the hardest decisions of my life and pack my bags and leave.
That's the power of the abuser, though, right?
Right. And
they
that
say
was
an
really
average,
surprising to me.
a person, an average of 7 times they try to leave this abuser before they actually totally, like Bryn said, escape.
Yep.
How about you, Vinny?
Well, I mentioned it earlier that the wife, as she's discussing a lot of the stuff that she's finally starting to see clearly, she realizes, and she says into the camera, this person cannot read or write. The one we're talking about, R. Kelly. He could not have done this by himself. He's got plane tickets and hotels, and this whole thing is being orchestrated by someone, and it's not him.
Right.
He can't do it without someone helping him. He can't read.
And so these people 100% knew what he was up to.
We're in on it.
And just went along with it. Keep their gig.
How about, was there anything for you, Sarah?
You know, I only watched the first 2 of them, and I will say that the Aaliyah stuff, I did feel as I looked at the pictures they were putting up, she looked scared in some of them, frankly. And I wondered if this marriage was her free will, like how much coercion was going on at that time, because this was sort of the beginning of his career of coercion. And I just wondered, like, how much pressure was there on her? Was he mentally tweaking her as well?
I'm sure he was. I mean, he was R. Kelly at the time, and she's just this 14, 15-year-old girl who wants a career in music, and this guy is one of the biggest stars in the world at the time. It's not easy. I mean, it's not easy to manipulate young people that way.
Right.
Was there anything for you, Yuzette?
I watched all 6, and I felt horrible for everyone involved, but the parents, what they had to go through
to rescue,
in trying to rescue their daughters.
Yeah.
And it's just heartbreaking not being able to see your children and trying to help them, but the child is
pushing him back. And,
and
it's
it's
brainwashed.
I mean, it's some real stuff.
So for me, it was the reason I couldn't get through it is because every time the interviewer was asking the girls who they were interviewing, can you describe some of the physical abuse or the mental abuse or the sexual abuse? They all just broke down and started crying and had to get up.
do it.
They couldn't do it. And I'm like, I can't keep watching this. Oh, like it was in every episode.
Yep.
Some girl would break down, and so after
She goes, I try not to think about it. And right then you can see that she's thinking about it, and tears just start pulsing out of her eyeballs.
Excuse me, can I have a break? Can I have a minute?
Right.
After 5 episodes of that, I'm like, I'm out. That's like, it's too
what
much.
the hell was he doing to them?
What about the one woman who goes back to the house in which she was abused? She couldn't even go in the bedroom where she was locked up in, and went into that one room that she called the black room.
Yeah.
Because that's where all the dehumanizing stuff went on. She couldn't even, she started crying. She had to get out of the house.
So let's talk about the documentary as a piece of filmmaking. What did you think, Marcus? Was it well shot? Was it compelling? Did they have, like, I noticed we had a lot of interviews, but we didn't have that much actual footage of R. Kelly. I wanted more of him.
I don't think that's really necessary, to be completely honest with you. It's not really completely about R. Kelly. It's these women's stories. It's about them, and I think the focus should be on them and their stories as opposed to, extra footage, B-roll of R. Kelly. I mean, what is he going to say? That you're not going to expect him.
More
He's going to
lies?
say, I haven't done it. I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, what are you going to get out of that interview? Nothing. And then you saw all the other interviews that he'd done in the past with Teray asking him, do you like teenage girls? Or underage girls?
What do you mean by underage?
What do you mean underage?
What age?
Women who are
19?
underage.
That was a heavy moment, for sure.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I was really surprised by is that the stuff that he did, unfortunately, doesn't shock me, but I was kind of surprised at the level at which black women were so on his side during that court case
they were.
back in the mid-2000s. That blew me away.
And he got with one of the ones that was,
That's right. That's
going
right.
for him.
Yeah.
That's right.
Marcus, I have a hard time separating the art from the artist. How do you feel about that?
So
let me ask the question, because I actually
go ahead.
have it here. So as a result of
You could ask the question that you
Radnich
just... Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
He broke that down like 2 days ago.
Stay in your lane, yo.
God.
So as a result of the documentary, there's been a twofold increase in streams of R. Kelly's music.
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on R. Kelly's music today? Should every station stop playing it? If you play it, does it mean you're supporting R. Kelly, or does it just mean you like the music?
If you play it, yes, it means you're supporting R. Kelly. If you play it on radio, if you play it in jukeboxes, you're supporting R. Kelly because he gets paid every time it's played. As far as separating the art from the artist, it used to be an easier thing for me to do, but I find that as I get older, increasingly, I find myself pulling away from artists who... Michael Jackson. I haven't listened to Michael Jackson in a long time. I was telling you this earlier, Hooman. It's ironic that one of the biggest hits of Michael Jackson's career was written and produced by R. Kelly. You Are Not Alone.
Vinny had a question?
Yeah, 510 has texted in, Hooman, can you ask Marcus what he thinks about the African-American culture still supporting R. Kelly?
Marcus, what do you think of the African-American
Speak
culture
for all the African Americans.
still supporting Robert Kelly?
Listen, man, why didn't anybody ever ask white folks why they continue to support Steven Tyler and Elvis Presley? I don't get that question.
Oh, what's Steven Tyler do? Is this that thing you were talking about
That
yesterday?
14-year-old,
Yeah.
right?
I didn't know about
that.
Yeah, we didn't know about that.
Interesting.
I chose not to know about that.
Interesting.
I started to read about it yesterday, but I really didn't get the whole story.
I guess my point is that, everybody, it's not just a black thing, everybody, it's all about the artist, the musician, or it's a politician, or it's a sports figure. Whoever is rich and famous is always going to get the benefit of the doubt, and folks who support them are always going to go, they want to bring them down, whoever they are. It's always they want to bring them down. And you hear this with R. Kelly all the time. You hear it with O.J. Simpson and any other celebrity, or, Donald Trump. People are always going, they just want to get him.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just a
That's the one.
horrible human being. And people just need to wise up and go, we need to separate ourselves from this person.
So, Marcus, now that this film is out and everyone is outraged, what's going to happen?
Nothing.
Will there be any justice? Or will this guy keep living a pimpin' lifestyle with no consequences?
That's an interesting question because I'm not sure that there can ever truly be justice in this case. I mean, this guy has ruined so many lives. I can't see how there could be any real justice unless, even if he goes to jail at this point. I mean, maybe you're saving other people from in the future.
Right.
But as I said to you last week, I think this guy, and after you've watched it, I think you probably feel the same way. If he hadn't become a music superstar, very good chance he would have been a serial rapist or a serial killer. Very good chance.
Well, he's twisted.
He is.
Sum it all up, let me just say this. This documentary depressed me. It depressed me so much I couldn't even finish it. So
You should. You gotta watch that last episode, man.
Yeah.
That last episode,
what happens? Just
You'll
tell
see
me.
it.
Just tell me off the air.
I won't.
Anyway, if you know R. Kelly, you've listened to his music.
Yeah.
I'd say it's worth watching. If you don't know who R. Kelly is, I feel like you can skip.
You're
But
crazy.
I'm gonna. It's
Everyone
good.
should see this.
I'm gonna give it 3 3/4 Persian rocks.
I don't know what crack you're smoking. But you need a refund, buddy. This thing is amazing. It is. I'm not worried about that. This could have been done in like a home video camera. This is still so intriguing and engaging. You cannot take your eyes off this thing. Everybody should see it. Sarah, I agree. Everyone should see it. Period. I'm going to give it 5 Aussies.
Oh, perfect score.
Yeah.
All right.
You
Yeah.
guys anybody else want to give it a score?
I'll say that I grew up listening to his music, and just as far as 2 weeks ago, I was still down to play some of his stuff because we're talking about it. And after watching this, I'm not willing to do that anymore. I don't want to play it or have anything to do with his music anymore. So
You know what I did, Brandon? The day after I watched that documentary for the second time, I watched it twice. I went
whole
into
thing?
Yeah, the whole thing. I went into my office. I played all the R. Kelly that I liked, and then that's it. I'll never listen to any of that stuff ever again.
Wow,
Never again.
that's heavy.
I'm done. It's a wrap.
So
I don't want to give it a rating. I thought it was excellent and very informative.
Yeah.
The style of it was very sort of modern TV documentary style, and I actually did like some of the camera work. The content of it is incredibly disturbing. I also am not going to rate it. I've only seen 2 episodes of it, but I'm definitely going to continue to watch it, and it's just awful.
It's
Everyone
hard to
should
get
see
through.
It is.
It's a tough watch.
Next week, everyone, Marcus is back.
Yeah.
And we'll
Boy,
be
Marcus is
reviewing Matthew.
in heavy rotation.
Yeah, a lot of
rotation.
texts are coming in that they just love you, Marcus.
We're gonna review Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Diane Lane in Serenity.
Oh. And then are you going to do a Stan and Ollie thing here?
No, it's all right.
All
That's,
right, great.
what?
Well, you guys did a wonderful job on today's review.
Yeah, everybody.
All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Desiree from Antioch, and I just won $1,000.
You knew the word and you won $1,000. $12K a day on Alice at 97.3.